We're going to take a break from the motor overhaul for a bit because I have something else I still need to work on. The foot peg. Broke the foot peg off of the baby quad again. So I've got to figure out how to best weld this back on. I have a few ideas, so let's take a look and see if we can do this better than we've done it before. So here we go. This foot peg on the right hand side, I hit a tree stump riding out here the other day and just sheared it right off. And I've been working to clean it up, but I don't have a perfect cut here. And I really want to have a good fit up job when I go to weld this back on because it's such a small welder that it's really tough to get it without applying a lot of heat and weakening the metal. If I'm able to scoot down in here, there's the challenge. Ripped this chunk of pipe right out. This is 1-inch OD pipe. So I've got to pull this out, clean this up, and figure out how am I going to get that foot peg attached so it'll stay on. Wow, that's ugly. Never really got in there well to weld, never really cleaned it up. Oh boy. And just tore. And that is horrible fit up. So we've got a lot of work to do to figure this out. But so long as I don't have fuel leaking, we're gonna start grinding, cleaning up. And one thought that I have is to make a sleeve. This is 1-inch OD, this is 1-inch inner dimension. Came off a frame of a Yamaha Moto 4 that I salvaged. And this could click right over. Let's say I make a longer piece. Whole sleeve slides over. And maybe. This foot peg is 1-inch OD pipe. This piece of pipe here is 1-inch inner dimension off of a Yamaha Moto 4 frame that I've salvaged. So this could actually go over the frame, kind of click over, and if I can get a nice fit up here, then I could secure the whole thing, weld the whole thing on there, and maybe even do some more gusset type work on both sides. But I want to make a longer piece here to try to run as much of this length as I can. So that's what I'm going to work. First I'm going to clean this up with the grinder, and then I'm going to work on a fit up piece. I'm going to see if I can actually drop the exhaust because there's still some yucky stuff on top here. Alright, it's about as clean as I can get it with the exhaust lifted up here. Still hard to get at the back, and I'm not planning to take the motor out. But here's the idea. This guy can go over, I can cut a longer piece, I can even bend it a little bit, and ideally the patch goes on. You can see I still got some rough stuff. Patch goes on something like that, but longer, and then I clean up enough so that I can put a long weld on both sides. Ooh. And if I'm going to get at both sides, it's going to be a little tricky, and the clearance is going to be kind of just right on that bolt. But I think I want a piece. I want a 6 to 8 inch piece if I can. Alright, let's go see what I might have for some scrap. Alright, here's the old chassis. And this stuff I think is going to actually do what we need. That's 1 inch, and I actually just found out I was calling the other stuff 1-inch OD. It's 7/8 OD. So this 1/8 should be 7/8 on the inner dimension, should work fine. So I'm looking for a piece I can cut out of here that will have the length I'm looking for. Right down here might be, although on the other side of the swing arm, how about this piece? Yeah. We're gonna cut that whole chunk out. There we go. That's our piece. Survey says, yeah, 7/8. We got something good here. 7/8. So there's the longest piece I can get my hands on there. 8 or 9 inches. That'll get a good amount of overlap. And this guy's cut. Ugh. Let's not cut my fingers here. You know, that half moon cut out of there seems to be about right. So, let's see what we can do. So this guy had been buried in my parents' garage for 15 years. Brought it up here because I don't have a metal cutting chop saw. I think the plate on here, plate says 1982. Oh, it's a neat old rig. Automatic shutoff too. Top comes down, boom. Might need a little bit of adjustment, but this is going to work. All right, we have our piece. Took a little bit of work to figure out how to hold it in there to get it cut without pinching the blade. Had to make some adjustments, but we now have the piece of pipe that we'll sandwich over the damaged piece that we will affix the foot peg to. Alright, today pulling out the baby quad, gonna finish welding up that foot peg, get that back rock and rolling. It's a few days later, it's actually the next weekend. I think I've got a pretty good fit up with the metal. I've got some new welding wire I've been playing with. It seems to be working better on the gauge metal that I'm using. So wheel this out, see if we can actually patch that hole, get the foot peg back on, and get ourselves back in business here. Also, there's an angry bird around. This robin decided that building her nest in the middle of my activities was going to be a peaceful idea, so I'm trying to avoid the robin, but I am working 10 feet away, so a lot of robin chirping today. So here's what we have. My brother-in-law bought me these welding magnets as a thank you for helping out with my nephew's quad, that utility quad. So these are holding my fit up here. And you can see I still have a little bit of gap there, so this is still going to be interesting. I think this cleaned up pretty well. And we removed the exhaust to get a little more working room. So this is the plan. So here we go. Alright, that last piece was just to get some goobers on for boot traction. Now let's see about snapping this thing onto the chassis. Now that we're on, rotate up. So Now we're going to come back in on the back side. Give the strength all the way back down through here.